I'm Lisa Birnbach for howdini.com. How do you take care of that gorgeous new cashmere sweater you scored this season? Hand wash or dry clean? Hang or fold? Answers to these and other pressing questions from Sharon Haver, fashion reporter and founder of FocusOnStyle.com. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Fine, thanks. What about cashmere? Dry clean or hand wash?
Well, you could do both. Usually they recommend, particularly on better cashmere, that you can wash it. I personally believe that unless it's something that really you got dirty or sweaty, the longer you can go without cleaning it, it seems to work better in cashmere. But what you can do is either hand wash it or in a very gentle cycle in a good washing machine that doesn't sort of beat it up, in cold water and a very delicate kind of laundry detergent, and they even recommend a shampoo. And then what I would do is I wouldn't necessarily put it in a dryer, maybe just a minute or two to air fluff a bit, but then I would lie it down on a towel and kind of just, let it dry naturally that way, or put a towel on, in your if it's a big towel bar, and then hang it over that. But make sure you sort of block it so the ends don't drag or droop.
Well, they talk about blocking. What does that mean?
For me, blocking means I hang it on a really thick towel over my shower. I always kind of put the end facing me so I could make sure I sort of just, gather it and press it a bit that it's flat. So you don't get a nice little uneven hem at the end if it wasn't supposed to be there. And then I kind of come over every once in a while and, pat it down to get rid of any bumps or lumps, and that's fine. Or you can take it to the cleaner, which is not necessarily, the best thing to do if you're going to a cheap cleaner that uses a lot of chemicals.
Well, some of them do say dry clean only.
But I would always suggest taking it to a French cleaner that uses a sort of a better grade, lighter kind of chemical, or if you can find a green cleaner.
What about storing?
Cashmere is really just sort of, it's like a smorgasbord for moths. They love it.
Oh, this is what they like to eat?
They love it. And I've lost my huge cashmere collection because I didn't follow my own advice. But what you want to do at the end of every season is not put anything away dirty or worn. You want to make sure that there's, no sweat on it, no food, no dirt, no munchies for a moth to get in and have a heyday on. So always put it away cleaned. And then you can fold it with putting a piece of tissue underneath it. Just put it in a box, nice and neat, and store. A box is usually the best way of doing it, and sealing it. So whether it be a plastic box, a plastic garment bag like this, one of those kind of nylon-y canvas things.
Right.
You want to put it in something where the moths can't wander in and start eating. So what I always use are cedar chips, and you can get them in any closet department. And with cedar, they last a long time too, and what you could do is you take some sandpaper and you roughen it up a bit, and then the smell will come out more, so they'll refresh themselves. And I really love, even throughout the season, I use these little sprays. This one is cedar and lavender. I actually keep this in my closet, and every once in a while when I remember, I give the closet a little spritz, and it just sort of keeps it at bay.
Now, what about, you bring home your gray cashmere sweater, and it costs a lot, and you really take good care of it, and it pills anyway.
The little sweater shavers that you can get, battery operated things that come with a little plastic sort of holder to keep all the crumbs in it, the fuzz. And you just give it a quick shave.
And your cashmere sweater will survive a shaving?
It will survive a shave.
Okay. And what ultimately must you do? What is the Sharon Haver trick to keeping your cashmere long-lasting?
What I do for sweaters I wear quite frequently, or that I just want to remember that I own, is I hang them. And I use a very nice padded hanger like this, or I use one of the little fuzzy ones where the clothing won't fall off. And I wouldn't put something light and delicate like this type of cashmere, but a sturdier one like you're wearing, or one of these, I would most definitely put on it. And then as the season progresses and you see does that look like it's getting a little bit dented, kind of shuffle them around so it doesn't sit in the same spot all the time. Most people will tell you to fold them, but we don't have that many drawers.
Do you put cedar in a closet when you're
when they're hanging, I walk around and I do a little quick spritz of this every once in a while. I keep these in the boxes with it. I also have some of those big cedar boards. They're like 2x4s, and I have a few of them. They're kind of buried in the back behind clothes, and they give a little bit of cedar. But having a lot of different easy to access cedar things doesn't have that horrible odor of a mothball when you walk in.
Right.
And so far, no moths in my life for the last 5 years, so it must be working.
So it's protecting your investment. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
For howdini.com, I'm Lisa Birnbach.